Hello, Alvimans 1 here. This will be episode 2. Sorry about that. This will be episode 2 of Alvimans, Alvimans Old School Wrestling Review. I'm going to try to get through 3 of these today, in this episode if I can. But first things first, I want to let everybody know, episode 8 of ACW Primetime is being uploaded as I make this video. The first 2, part 1 and part 2, both going up right now. The last 2 parts will be up as soon as those 2 are done uploading. Well, number 3 will go up as soon as number 1's done. Or at least I'll start putting it up as soon as number 1's done. And as soon as number 2 finishes, I can start number 4. But anywho, back to business. First, on the ACW Old School Review agenda for today, Suprebrawl 3, WCW Suprebrawl 3, that is, from 1993. This match starts off with Too Cold Scorpio and Benoit. 19 minutes and 59 seconds. Pretty good technical wrestling all around. Scorpio hit some decent high-flying moves. Tony Schiavone and Jesse the Body Ventura were the commentary for this event. Tony Schiavone, there was one point where Too Cold Scorpio hit, I believe it was a moonsault off the top, caught Benoit, had a pin, and there are 3 counts. 1, 2, but doesn't get the 3. And Tony Schiavone says, well, we know that man can count. Well, that's good. He's a fucking ref. He better be able to count at least to 3. So, yes. In the end, Chris Benoit, nobody heard that, Benoit beats Scorpio via the Walls of Jericho. Yes, you heard me correctly. This is not a normal Boston Crab. This is the original Walls of Jericho, or Lion Tamer, if you will, because he has sort of a high-angle crab. He's got him way up here. He's got the knee in the middle back, and really all that's happening here is his arms are trapped down here like this, and his face is getting squished into the mat. This is the way Jericho used to do the Walls of Jericho, or Lion Tamer. Not to be confused with Lion Salt. But anyway, it's 19 minutes, 59 seconds, excuse me. And it ended with a roll-up pin by Too Cold Scorpio. That's not a great way to end it. I wrote down 3 stars, but you know what? I'm only going to give it 2 stars. Because, I mean, after as good a match as they had, to end it with a roll-up, you lose a star. Match number 2, Wild Bill Irwin versus the British Bulldog. This was just not a great match. 5 minutes and 49 seconds. So what the hell was that? First of all, Wild Bill Irwin needs to know that if you're that fat, you shouldn't be wearing skin-tight jeans. Nobody wants to see any guy that's that heavy in skin-tight jeans, and he's not like a huge fat guy by any means, but big enough that just no. And of course, the match started with British Bulldog punching him in the face. He trips and falls backwards, ass first between the top and second rope, and lands on the back of his head. Goes back and forth in what was a okay. But at one point, British Bulldog picks him up, walks him around a little bit, hits him with the famous British Bulldog Power Slam. In the end, I give this 2 stars for this match. Also in this match, I thought it was interesting to note that for some reason Tony Schiavone thought that Nashville was in North Carolina. I thought it was in Tennessee. Who knows? But, on to match 3. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff versus Cactus Jack. Now, I will say that I did kind of like this just for the little bit of extreme that they added in. Cactus Jack getting flipped right across the top of 2 safety rails and then suplexed, like right in the middle of his back, right across one of those steel safety rails that they had. The match basically ended when they got back in the ring. Paul Orndorff took Cactus Jack down, turned around, started showboating, and right when he turns back around again, Cactus Jack has a snow shovel that he brought to the ring in the first place, nails Paul Orndorff in the face, knocks him down, and this was a Falls Count Anywhere match. I forgot to mention that. The Falls Count Anywhere match, which is why they were all over the place. But back in the ring, Cactus Jack waffles him in the face with a snow shovel, pins him, gets the win. On to match number 4 of the night. Oh, and that match, before I skip on to number 4, that match I gave 3.5 stars. So we started off with a 2-star match, a 1-star match, and a 3.5 star match. Next up, Max Payne versus Dustin Rhodes. 11 minutes, 28 seconds. The 12 minutes and 17 for Orndorff and Cactus Jack. But Max Payne and Dustin Rhodes. This is a U.S. title match. Max Payne was not originally scheduled to be there, and I wish we'd gotten to see the man who was originally scheduled to be there, who was Mr. Ron Simmons. Damn. But Max Payne took over. Now, I've seen a few matches with Max Payne, and he wasn't really too bad, I guess. But I think he was better with the jean shorts and the baggy t-shirt than he was with the spandex singlet with bike shorts over the top of it. When 11 minutes, 28 seconds, of not a whole lot that I saw that was really that interesting, he was disqualified because he grabbed the ref. What the fuck? Disqualify him because he punches the ref in the face. Don't disqualify him because he grabbed onto him. This is possibly the only time I've ever seen somebody get disqualified for just grabbing the ref. Whatever. It happened. Hey, I gave this match 1 star. So we got first match 1 star, second match, nope, first match 2 stars, second match 1 star, third match 3.5, fourth match 1 star. Moving into match 5, Ric Flair came out to the ring, and then he went to the commentary position with Tony Schiavone and Jesse Ventura to call the match between NWA Heavyweight title match between Barry Windham and the Great Muta. This match took way too fucking long. 24 minutes and 10 seconds of a whole lot of nothing. I had to watch this match 3 times just to watch the whole fucking thing. But I'll get back to that. First off, DDT botch. That was just like, wow. Windham goes to pull him back down into a DDT. And instead of DDTing him, he lifted him. And Muta lands in a handstand. And then just pulls his hands out and lands on his back. His head doesn't even hit. Like, maybe that far from the mat. Now we got it. Okay, so the only other interesting thing that I saw was Great Muta slammed Windham late in the match, tried to go for the moonsault. Windham tried to get out of the way, but ended up getting kicked in the head because he didn't move fast enough. And like I said before, back to how slow this match was. I said I had to watch it 3 times to watch the entire thing. The camera guy even got bored because at one point he took the camera over here to a guy sitting at ringside with a headset who looked like he was ordering a pizza. I mean, this guy's sitting there going, "No, man. No, I said no anchovies. Come on. What the fuck?" I said no anchovies. And then the camera finally comes back. It was like, what the hell just happened? Dude, there's a match? Yeah, you're right. Never mind. That guy was more interesting. This match was too slow. I'm giving it 1 star just because it was so fucking slow. So we've had, let's see. I'm going to give Max Payne and Dustin Rhodes 2. I'm going to be nice there. But we had 2 stars, 1 star, 3.5, 2 stars, 1 star. So we have 2 matches so far that are only 1 star matches. Shitty ass. One that was a 2 that may as well be a 1. So we move on to the main event. Sting versus Vader in a leather strap match. Now in this, you have to touch all 4 corners, for those who don't know. Or touch all 4 ring posts in this case. Sting tries and fails a few times. Vader tries and fails a few times. I didn't even write down how long this match went, because I don't know that there was even a time limit to it in the first place, so it doesn't matter. But Sting versus Vader gets all the way down to the end of the match. And throughout the match, they've talked about the fact that either one of these guys has to drag their opponent with them to each corner and touch each corner to win the match. Vader touches the first 3, and then Sting latches on to the 3rd turnbuckle as Vader's trying to pull him across to the 4th. So now Vader, who has the strap on his wrist, has a handful of strap with the other hand, starts pulling back, and then he just lets go and reaches this hand out and touches the turnbuckle, and the match ends. What kind of an ending is that? I give this 2 stars at most, and out of a I would usually, you know what? Out of a 10-star, no, out of 5 stars for the full pay-per-view, this one gets maybe fucking 2 stars, if that, shitty pay-per-view. But I admit there was at least some good action in some of the matches, even if the overall match sucked. Now, there were 2 matches that happened that were not, for some reason, on the video. And this, by the by, is that video. Okay, so, the 2 matches, Hollywood Blondes defeated Eric Watts and Marcus Bagwell. And the Rock and Roll Express defeated the Heavenly Bodies. Why they weren't on there, I don't know. But this seemed to sort of be a reoccurring thing. Next up, Beach Blast 93 in what is possibly the worst pay-per-view fucking ever. Okay, so, you know, when I looked at this, I was gonna be nice about a couple. First things first, there's only 5 fucking matches that you get to see. Here's the tape, and I'll go ahead and say this. I recognize a few of those guys. For these 2, if I hadn't paid about $2 a piece, if I had paid any more than that, I would be going, why the fuck did I buy these right now? Because Beach Blast is... Look, WCW had the talent. Vader and Sting, they absolutely had the ability to put on a fantastic match. And what did they give them? Shit. And two in a row. I don't think Psycho Sid, who was in the main event of this pay-per-view, has ever been a very good wrestler. And they made the British Bulldog look like shit in this one, but we'll get to that in a second. First match, Johnny B. Bad versus Max Payne. Now, this one actually had a cool moment and some interesting wrestling. I gave this one 3.5 stars. This is the only one that's going to get that kind of a rating. Okay? 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Didn't quite make 5 minutes, but... Actually, you know what? I'm going to give this 2 stars because of the way it ended. Which was Johnny Bad hitting a crossed body off the second rope. The coolest part of this was Max Payne coming out, playing a guitar solo, and this was the only music he had. He didn't have any kind of... I mean, I don't know that they even had, you know, videos, entrance videos, or whatever, but there was no other music. He was just playing the guitar solo on the guitar as he's walking to the ring, and he just kind of hands the guitar off when he gets it. I thought it was a pretty good guitar solo. It wasn't a great guitar solo, but hey. Anyway, made it interesting. But I'm only giving that match 2 stars. Next match, tag team title match. Paul Roma and Arn Anderson versus the Hollywood Blondes, who are Flying Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve. Or Stunning Steve Austin, if you will. And yes, that is Stone Cold Steve Austin before he got to be a total badass. Now let me just say something that I can't think of a match where Paul Roma actually made a match look good. Because, let's face it, Paul Roma can't sell shit. Okay? Simple as that. Simple as that. Now, Arn Anderson is a decent wrestler, but throughout the match, like majority of this match, which was 26 minutes and 14 seconds, Arn Anderson was just getting his ass just pounded by the Hollywood Blondes. Yeah, I realize that sounds pretty bad, and it was pretty bad because he was like, I was trying to figure out which team was supposed to be the heels and which was supposed to be the faces, because a lot of people consider the Four Horsemen to have been a heel group. Some would say that they're face, but whatever. The Hollywood Blondes won with a roll-up. Just, it's simple little stupid schoolboy. This match gets 1 star because, let's face it, Iron Man Challenge. Rick Rude versus Dusty Rhodes. The simple thing to say about this, it ended in a time limit draw. That's bullshit. And if it ended in a time limit draw, do what the WWE did. Continue the match, 1 fall to a victory, so that at least somebody wins. Don't leave a match that's gone on that long without a winner. People just don't like that shit. NWA title, Barry Windham versus Ric Flair. This match gets 1 star, went 11 minutes and 15 seconds, and it gets 1 star for one simple reason. This match it seemed like they did nothing. They just kind of like danced back and forth, threw out a few flashy things, we got a couple woos, and then Ric Flair puts on the figure 4, Barry Windham leans back, and the referee goes off. Before Windham could even try to get off the mat. Didn't even give him a chance. 1 star. And of course, now we've reached the main event already in the 5th match, which seems like an awfully short pay-per-view, and it is. Now, this is Big Van Vader and Psycho Sid, or let's see what they called him, Sid Vicious, versus the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, and Sting. And like I said, this was 16 minutes and 44 seconds. There was some good kind of back and forth tag team in this match, but seriously, I mean, I don't even really know what to say. It wasn't a great match. First of all, Sid Vicious can't sell a move to save his life. And second, it didn't seem like they were willing to give Sting and Vader the chance to do the kind of things they can do. Bulldog, I mean, he wrestled his game because his game was pretty slow and methodical. That was just kind of the way he did it. But what are you going to do? I'm going to give this, I think I said I'm giving this 1 star. I'll actually give it 2 stars. You know what? I'm going to stick with what I said originally. I'm giving this shit 1 fucking star, and I'll tell you why. The ending. The Bulldog jumps up on Vader's back, and Vader just stands there like this. Well, Davey Boy obviously has him set up for a crucifix roll-up, but Vader just kind of stands there for about 20 seconds before he's like, oh yeah, and then he falls over backwards. And they try to play it off like, oh, Big Vader is holding him up. He's holding him up. You know, if he was, like, leaning forward and, like, bringing the Bulldog up here and setting him up on his shoulders for something, I might have bought that. But since he's just standing there like that, just standing there, I don't really buy it. He did, you know. But this is me. This is probably about the worst pay-per-view I've seen. I've seen quite a few pay-per-views. So, the final thing about this pay-per-view, there were 3 other matches at the pay-per-view that are not on the videotape. First off, Paul Orndorff defeating Ron Simmons, I believe for the television title. Yes, for the television title. We had 2 Cold Scorpio and Marcus Bagwell defeating Tex Slazenger and Shanghai Pierce, and Steven Regal, a.k.a. William Regal, defeating Eric Watts. There you have what you have. Those 3 matches didn't appear. The final Peace, 7 matches, Slamboree 94. Johnny B. Bad versus Stunning Steve was okay, I gave it 2. It wasn't really a whole lot. There was an early bell ring in that match, if you care to watch. Tully Blanchard versus Terry Funk was pretty cool, I gave it 3.5 stars. Larry Zbyszko versus Steven Regal was kind of a boring, pointless match. Dustin Rhodes versus Bunkhouse Buck, 3 stars. It was a bull rope match. It was okay. Flair versus Wyndham got 2 stars. It wasn't a great match. Kevin Sullivan and Cactus Jack versus the Nasty Boys was pretty cool. I think I gave that 3 stars. And of course, Sting versus Vader. Ended with a flying body press splash, whatever the fuck you want to call it. All in all, Slamboree 94 was better than the first 2 that I reviewed, but as I'm going through this pretty quickly, as you noticed, I don't think that if I'd paid more than $2, like I said, if it had been more than $2, and I knew what I know now, if it had been more than $2 and I watched that, I would have been upset. But anyway, I am Alvaman1. This is the Alvaman Old School Review. We will see you again. Peace out.